What is up, guys? Coach Kevin here with our first of what I'm hoping is many mini dives into a topic. So, you guys have been really helpful at answering some of my questions, and I want to provide value in return. So, this video is the first educational video answering a common question. And the question that came back was asking about supplements to help with either performance or accelerating aesthetics goals. So today we're starting with vitamin C because it's quite foundational. And if you're already taking vitamin C, stay tuned. There may be some things that will help you to want to take a slightly higher dose, which I'll be recommending at the end of the video. So for most of us guys, we're going to be thinking about vitamin C when we're already either getting a little bit sick, or if we're chronically like we have allergy season coming up or whatever, we want to give our immune system a boost. Vitamin C is very useful in helping to lower one of our most powerful stress hormones in the body, that's known as cortisol. So I'm going to be doing a slight explanation of cortisol. Bear with me as we kind of talk about this stress hormone a little bit. So cortisol, like I said, is a steroid hormone, and it really helps the body in many ways. Most of our cells have cortisol binding receptors, but it's generally in the fitness space is going to be a stress reducing anti-inflammatory hormone, which sounds all good except for when we get it in too high of amounts. That's why we're talking about this today, is because we want to start to pull cortisol out of the cells and out of the blood with our vitamin C. So the good news is that cortisol plays a role in our metabolism by converting fats and proteins and carbs into useful energy, but there's a downside in that when we get too much cortisol, we get a lot of inflammation built up in the body, and that's not useful for our immune system as well as for our weight loss or performance. So this is where cortisol can start to have a bit of a bad rap. It's a normal hormone. It's not something we need to be afraid of, but it's definitely a hormone that we want to manage. And so thinking a little bit about how cortisol will affect your results, if, like I said, we get a little bit too high with our cortisol levels, then we're going to start to have what's called the breaking down of our proteins. It's a big fancy word, proteolysis. It just means muscle wasting, and this essentially just means that if you're very stressed, and whether it's a stressful workout, think about CrossFit or like endurance, like extreme endurance events. It's nothing against either of those, but those types of stressful events are going to raise your cortisol levels to a place where your body's going to have this kind of huge amount of inflammation in it, and we're going to want to use the vitamin C to pull that out in order to help. Now, you can also get super stressed out with your daily life because you've got kids and a job and deadlines and your managers being annoying, or your employees aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or you've got people dying in the family, or someone just died in the family. There's so many reasons why our stress levels would be hyper elevated, and that's normal, right? And vitamin C can come to the rescue. So a little bit more information just about what I'm hoping is going to be useful in terms of how this relates to your goals is your recovery from training is going to be slower if we have too much cortisol in the body, and so we want to try to mitigate some of that by taking some of that out of the cell. You're also going to notice likely, and this is some of the studies have shown, that we're going to have sleep disruption and in really bad cases, some chronic fatigue setting in. Now, I don't want to go too much into these types of what would you call them, side effects, because I want to focus on the muscle and the metabolism and the benefits that we'll get from keeping our cortisol down, okay? We're halfway through this presentation already, guys. This is a crazy finding that research has shown that vitamin C has a powerful effect on the immune system. We know that, but especially after bouts of intense exercises. We're already talking about this. And this study found that men who take 1 gram of vitamin C have, in this study, had, after a 2-week period, had lower cortisol levels about 2 hours later after doing an intense run. That's just kind of interesting. There's another study that I'm going to share later about stressed out workers where we're going to see even more benefit with the cortisol intake. With the vitamin C intake. So why does vitamin C work? Vitamin C is useful because it decreases these inflammatory markers in the body and helps to reduce stress. It is also going to be bringing the feelings of exhaustion down dramatically. I've experienced this in my life as well by taking slightly higher doses. I'm taking up to 3 grams a day post exercise, and that's really been helping me to feel more relaxed and also help me to burn a bit more fat. So nice double whammy. Okay, so again, how much did you take? I'd recommend taking up to but anywhere between 1 and 3 grams a day should be pretty useful. That would be considered like a mega dose. And the studies that were shown in this presentation were utilizing between 1 and 10 grams. Most bottles are going to have about 250 milligrams on the bottle, and you can follow the bottle if you want to. And if you start to feel like you're getting stressed, then I'd recommend taking maybe anywhere between 1 and 3 grams. So just closing out things here, guys, I want to share a couple of my recommended sources. I like a couple sources. I like the Thorn powder, and this link will take you to purchase. I also like the ATP Sinner C capsules. That's the one I'm taking right now. It's been great. It's been useful. Disclaimer, I don't get any kickback from any of these supplements. I just want them to be for you to be able to just quickly purchase if you want. This is what I'd recommend. There are many different forms. I highly recommend buffered vitamin C in this case so that you are getting the best absorption. So I hope that that was short and sweet and that you made it all the way through and that this video is showing up nicely on your phone. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the DMs in the VIP app. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.